Hello and welcome to another down the line video. So today is a little bit different. I'm at Northampton station currently, and today is going to be another abandoned railway video. And as you have probably seen, there is one particular person that I normally do these videos with, and of course Purple is back with me. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Better for seeing you back out and about, mate.
It's been a very, very long time.
Yeah, I need this in your life, right?
Of course, I have missed it. I really have. So I'll let you explain to them what we're going to be doing.
Right, okay. Well, I've studied Northampton quite a lot for the railways, and my favourite bit that I have found is the track that is still laid from Northampton Open University down to the back of Delapre Park. So it is right where the Hardingston Junction was, and you'd have the Northampton St John's to Bedford station. They had that line, and then you also had the Northampton to Peterborough branch line as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to show you what's left and remains. So yeah.
Oh, awesome. Excited nonetheless. So let's get to it, and welcome back. So before we kick on with seeing the Northampton to Peterborough line, we're going to stay at Northampton for about another half hour, 45 minutes or so. Bit of train spotting, of course, come on, it's got to be done as well. I think Purple said that there's a 47 drag coming through, which it is.
Yeah, so you got class 47 727 Edinburgh Castle with 360 114 dragging on the back. It's come from Kettering stabling sidings and it's going up to Northampton Electrical Maintenance Depot. The code is 5 Quebec 96, all on rail cam.
There you go, so a bit of spotting and then we'll continue on. So there we go, a few 350s and a 47 drag. And I have to say that driver did put on a bit of a show for us, didn't he?
Didn't he? He did. What a legend.
I remember the driver of the 37 at Wellingborough done that for us as well.
Yeah, well, of course, Andy Murdin, what a diamond.
Oh yes. So yeah, so that's train spotting all done. So we're going to go and head back to my car, have a little drive over, and then continue on with the abandoned railway. So I'll see you there. So as we're just walking on from the car, nice to see you again. So we're going to have a little look around, see what's around. I'm pretty sure that there is going to be a couple of sites. But yeah, before we do, like I said, we're exploring the Northampton to Peterborough line. So I'm going to cut away and give you an extra little history lesson on the Northampton and Peterborough line and what was it.
The Northampton to Peterborough line opened to passengers in 1845. It ran from a junction at Blisworth to Northampton and onwards to Peterborough. The line had a length of 47 miles, and as you can see, it largely followed the River Nene. The line ran through mainly agricultural terrain, and many of the intermediate stations were built in an Old English or Tudor style from local limestone. This line in particular was the first railway through this area that is penetrated, although in later years, other railways either crossed it or made junctions with it. As you can see, there isn't much left of the stations today, and the line closed completely in 1972. However, a part of this line has since reopened as the Nene Valley Railway Heritage Line.
Alright then, so after a little bit of a drive and a little bit of a walk, we've now come to, as you can see behind me, the Students' Union at the engine shed. So, of course, says it in the name, that is an old engine shed. But if I pan down, you can see that there is continuous track, or rails I should say, going straight in. Now, Purple, you were telling me something a bit about this, and it isn't solely connected to Northampton, is it?
Not really, no. It's got a massive connection to Wellingborough Locomotive Department, where we had two big round houses with round turntables inside. One was 60 foot and one was 65 foot. But this engine shed here is actually London Midland, Scotland. So being right next to the London North Western Railway is quite bizarre, but this is a sub-shed to Wellingborough Department. So there is a whole big thing where Northampton residents protested against the railway coming through their town, and because of that it kind of held them back a little bit. So Wellingborough become the big locomotive department, halfway between Derby Collieries and the Southwark Cricklewood. So I suppose they would have needed something here. So it was only big enough for two engines, look, but yeah, sub-shed of Wellingborough. Nice little connection for my hometown.
And I find that pretty cool, you know, like Purple said, you know, you've got the London North Western Railway here, and as you look, they've got a painted display on the windows of a steam locomotive, but on the buffers it says MR, Midland Railway. So again, that gives it away, Wellingborough being on the Midland Main Line, etc, etc. And you know, just looking, they've got a couple of information posts. I'll get a couple of shots of them on a little pan out. One of them has a cool image of the condition of the engine shed back in 2014. So it just goes to show the immense restoration work that has gone on here. And you know, with it being University of Northampton, you would probably expect that, you know, that kind of heritage gets forgotten and, you know, they want new things. But to have this, and there's also, I'll come around, there's a student village post, which in terms of the building of it, it's exactly the same brick style as the engine shed, which is absolutely brilliant and,
so
and
I
quite
think
cool to
this
see.
was the booking in office. So when the locomotives used to come by, they'd have to grab the ticket from the ticket master in here before it could enter into the shed. So this is the old ticket office. Well, the locomotive ticket office.
That's really cool. So I think from what Purple said, we're going to have a little walk down from here.
Oh yes.
Go into, is it?
The Hardingstone Junction. So if you have a look on the maps, it's just the next bit, just behind this shed. So I've been there before, and I'm pretty sure you're going to love this.
Oh, the excitement continues, doesn't it? Always does with Purple. It always does. But again, just looking at this again, it's a brilliant restoration job.
It really is.
And it's a fantastic relic of Northampton.
Have you also noticed the curve? Well, the corner of the wall is actually chopped out, and if you look at the overlay maps of where the railway went, it looks like they built the shed by mistake and they had to cut off the corner of the wall. So yeah, it's quite bizarre to see that, really. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll show you the information boards, and then let's check out this little corner that Purple's just mentioned. That's fairly interesting. Okay, so I've shown you a couple of these boards here. So this is one of the two. So it says that the shed closed in 1924. And if you can see by this image here, that is what I mentioned. That is a sorry looking state. And just to see how I've just shown you there, that is, it's two different worlds apart. That is brilliant.
I like this. The engine shed was built in 1873 as a sub-shed of Wellingborough Roundhouse, and was used to store and repair steam railway engines. Lovely.
Oh, so there you go. But I'm going to turn the camera around because there's the wall. Now on the other side, it is completely straight up until the face here. But if you look down here, you've got the wall completely straight, and then it cuts in here. Now that was, like as you just said, what was it?
It's the railway just went too close to the wall, so it makes me think maybe they built it in the wrong spot and had to cut off the wall. I'm just going to find it on the NLS maps at a moment. So I use National Library of Scotland maps. You can bring it up on your Google, and within all that you can bring up these awesome little maps. And if I have a look on here, So this stripy line here is the shed, and you can see there's one rail coming real close here. And of course on the other maps you can actually see it runs right by the side of this wall. So yeah, I think they made it by mistake. Yes, lovely.
There you go. A happy accident, you might say.
Yeah.
So we're going to have a little walk up here and see some more. So again, just walking up, got the engine shed there. And as we turn, straight away, there's a telegraph pole. Obviously you would associate them to being by the side of the railway lines. So let me turn that around again.
Proper communications. Little ceramic bits as well, look.
That's pretty cool. You got to love a railway relic, you really, really do. So on to the exciting bit, and from what Purple's told me, oh, hold the phone.
I've never seen that. Look at the wall in there on the bank. Now, I'm not too sure, but I'm sure that's the railway, but in the yard behind where we've parked, I'm pretty sure that's a car scrapyard, but possibly a railway scrapyard too. Now, I haven't actually found any evidence of that, so I've never really mentioned it in my videos, but if any of you lot know if that was a proper scrapyard or not, let Stephen know so I can know.
Share the knowledge, as they say. Yeah, I was going to say, before we saw that quite interesting part there, we're going to see some track in a minute. So we've just come into this, obviously nature's taken over this part, but I'm amazed by this. Look at all this. You got track, plenty of it. Obviously under the undergrowth you've got your sleepers, your brackets, and look, there's loads here. You can see on the end bit there, you can see where the trees have forced their way up. It's shifted the track out. But that's really, really, really cool. You got quite a lot here. So it just goes to show that there would have been, you know, in its heyday, this would have been a bit of a hive of activity with the crossovers and things like that. Another thing I do want to slightly point out, you probably can't see it, but if you can, just over there through the undergrowth, there's a bit of a bridge structure. Now that, to me in Purple, as we were discussing, looks like a rather small railway bridge, which suggests there's another line over there. So again, like I said, I haven't done abandoned lines for quite a while. Obviously the last one being the Bedford Hitchin line, but just to see old stuff like this again, it is an absolute treat. So this is brilliant, really, really is.
I'm glad to be on your first journey back out, mate, part of that experience.
Of course, always a pleasure. Always.
I just love the way these trees are ripping everything up, mate. It's crazy. I'm taking photos galore here.
And that's the thing, when it's left, nature will dominate and take it over. So yeah, let's see some more. So I've just had a look around this culvert.
Yeah,
isn't it? And you've got
well, this is the Hardingston Dyke, and there's a brick culvert down there that I've tried picking up on my camera and it won't pick it up. But then there's also a bridge there. So,
which is what I mentioned just a second ago, that you've got a bit of a better view of it, because this is actually the location of two separate lines, isn't it?
It certainly is, and that they crossed over here. It's called the Hardingston Junction, and I believe the one on the far side was the Northampton to Bedford line, and this is the Northampton to Peterborough line. Yeah, and they should have been able to have junctions right here somewhere. So, like the brickwork we saw down by the engine shed, I think this was all culverted over and it's just collapsed in a little bit. So, yeah. But I do know that this railway does continue on and it's still fully laid down the back. Want to check it out?
Oh, we certainly will.
Why not?
So that's an open invitation you cannot refuse. So let's go and have a little look and see what lies there.
So we've just come off the path from the lake there. Come back up, look at that. Double track. As you can see from the other lot, that's a lot more distinguished, that is. You can really make it out. Got BR and things like that attached to it. So just going to scoot round to here and then carry on. As you can imagine, I'm still a bit slower, but I've just, look at that, I don't know if you can hear. This is the one Purple has just shouted.
Oh my god.
Oh, there you go, look at that.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? Look at that. Dual line. Enough of a clearing for photos. I think it's cool for a thumbnail, doesn't it, mate?
I think it does. It just keeps going, and I've just been thinking, I don't think I've actually ever seen an old line that has gone on for this long. I mean, when I've been to the Bicester Military Railway, that was only a short few yards. When we was at Findon,
oh yeah, it was only.
There was a part of that didn't really continue on for long.
No.
But this just seems to just keep going. I mean, obviously there'll be an end point where it will stop.
But it's quite amazing actually, because part of this line, it's part of the other line that is used still by Geismar. Now there was talk about opening the Bedford to Northampton Railway, and I believe by the time they get to the A45 they'd use this part of the old line, which is the Peterborough line, this one. So look, as you can tell, it wouldn't take that much to actually bring it back round. I mean, most of it's already still here, it just needs a good old chopperoo. So yeah, I mean, it would be nice to get that line open, wouldn't it? Go from Northampton to Bedford.
I mean, that's the thing, theoretically it can be done. I mean, you get your obstacles and things like, I mean, there would be a fair few trees that would have to go to do that. So
but you look what they are, most of them are just ash.
Yeah.
These are self-set ones, you see, so they're not really harming the environment, and these grow so quick. They're not like Wellingborough lime trees, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen the fuss about all of that, go and check Purple's channel if you're into your politicalness. Full of opinion, but like I said, hurdles in this, you know, you'll get your green people who say don't touch any trees, and understandable. But
you get me, who's a historian, trying to save our historic walks from developers with some dodgy plans. I mean, I'm a bit of a tinfoil hat wearer, so to see all this happening on my doorstep, you can see something's not right. And the big Wellingborough Hearts have come out. I mean, most of us haven't ever protested before in our lives, so this is a very heartfelt thing. But yet, developers are so hell-bent in destroying 61 trees with a tree preservation order. Even had a barrister climb a tree and stop the work, which was pretty amazing. Did what none of us would do. But anyway, I'm here to enjoy the railways, get away from all of that. It's enough of that. Thank you.
It's all right, but like I said, we're going to continue on, get a few more shots of it, and just see where it takes us until we end, I suppose. So as you've just seen, there's a set of buffers there, and the line on that side does stop, but still this side, it does continue on. So it just begs the question, was that a long siding line, or did they just start to get rid of that and thought, no, stop, the idea's run wild? But if there is anyone that can share more information on this for us, just leave a comment, because it's share the knowledge, it's expertise, and it'll be interesting to know more about all this. But this is quite cool. It really is. So a little bit more and then we'll wrap it up for you guys. But this has been a thoroughly enjoyable experience, and as I said, I haven't seen my abandoned railways in a very long time, so it feels nice to be back out there. So now we've come to the end point. However, as you can see, it does continue on slightly, but it does get a bit more rougher, and then you have the A45 just over in the bushes there. So this has been fantastic, and he's behind me, but Purple,
Mate,
thank you. For a first outing back,
welcome back.
smashed it, absolutely smashed it. No, thank you very, very much.
I thought you'd like that, and it was a nice short little walk because I didn't want you to overdoing your legs, so I thought this was perfect just for now. But Northampton has so many other railways that I have explored, so I've got more to show you, and I can't wait to get back out and we'll do another one. Bloody right.
So obviously it's up to me. We've done a few episodes before this already, but that was obviously, like I said, minimal walking. But the fitter I get, the more adventurous these will get as well.
Mm-hmm.
But can't wait. Thank you again, mate.
No,
and
my
thank you very much for watching. As always, leave a comment, subscribe, notification bell, all of that jazz. And I will see you next time down the line.